10% of all the new cars sold in Iowa come from the Karl Auto Group. Our neighbors trust us to have the largest selection and the highest standards. To our current customers, thank you. And to our future customers, see for yourself why Karl drives Iowa.
Your dealer for life, it's the Karl way.
Welcome into the Northwest Bank Studios for Cyclone Fanatic pregame with Chris Williams live in Bondurant. Was in Vegas 12 hours ago.
I've been everywhere.
15 hours ago, probably. How was it?
It was good, honestly. It was kind of a cool deal. Like it reminds me of all these that I've been to, probably closest to the Battle of Atlantis, because you're all just like in the hotel, and then you don't have to leave because everything's just connected. And while there's a lot about this current era that I hate, it is kind of cool. It's like it's fun for fans. Like there's all these bars and restaurants just connected, and like we had a blast after they beat St. John's.
I bet.
I just tweeted out, "Hey, there's a Irish pub in Mandalay Bay. Let's all meet there." There was like 100 Iowa State fans that just showed up. Just had a great time. So like that part of it is awesome. Like the older I get, you won't get this yet. Some people will in the comments. Some people will yell at me. But it's more about the community than it is the wins. Now,
wrong.
But I would also say that if you're losing, the community sucks because everybody's in a bad mood all the time. So it all kind of goes hand in hand.
No, I get what you're saying.
But like it's a cool deal. I'm really confused about why Iowa State's playing now and all that stuff. And I don't think really need to hash it out. Bloom and I did for a while this morning. It is what it is. I will say this. I know you did this too, and you're going to be better at it than I will be. Syracuse is better than the people on my Twitter feed think.
Yes.
So like this is by no means like, well, I don't even know what is the spread. Is Iowa State favored by 7 or 8? I would
10.
guess
10.5 is last I saw. I'd probably play Syracuse, but
I'd definitely play Syracuse only because first of all, we'll talk Killian Tore because he's
the torture chamber.
Oh, I like that. He's really freaking good, and I don't think that this is a deal where I think he's just that much better than the other guys he's playing against. This doesn't feel fluky at all. You also look at his body, and it's like, is he going to hit that freshman wall like most guys do? I don't know.
You want to hear something from a national college basketball analyst? I was watching the Field of 68 last night, and I can't remember which of the 4 guys I was on said this, but he said that the Mississippi State game was the first time that he watched Iowa State all year. And when he was watching Tore, he just assumed that he was some 4th or 5th year guy from a mid-major that transferred up, and then realized during the game that he was a freshman. So that's from an outsider perspective on how good Torres looked.
What did you think of my comp? So I wrote up a premium piece last night with just my thoughts on the team. What do you think about my Rondo comp?
I think Is
it fair? You know the NBA better than I do.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I mean, Rondo is...
You don't sound like you're endorsing it. It sounds like you think it sucks.
I think
you
Rondo
think it sucks, Jake?
No, it doesn't suck. I see the body. I see the defense.
But he's got that like downhill, like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rondo's one of the 15 best passers ever. I would say Drew Holiday would be my comp.
Oh, that's good.
Where Holiday is, I mean, he's definitely had his cup of coffee as a like combo guard in the NBA, but he's known for his defense, which is where I'd more put Tore.
Rondo's got a little bit more of the like badass to him.
Yeah,
I see that in a young Tore where he's just like, I don't think that guy's probably going to take much from people.
I see that also. Either way, the fact that we're having this conversation
after 5 games or 6 games,
I don't know if you watched post game, but Aiden and I opened up our cold open, and just saying that I think Tore is going to be a fan favorite, but it might not be as long as people think. And I remember feeling that with, I feel guilty even bringing up the name, but Tyrese Halliburton, where it's like, you watch that guy for 20 games, and it became pretty clear that he was not going to be a 4-year player.
And they have it. They're very similar, and like there were these aspects of both of those guys where it was just like, oh man, if he could ever do that, and it was like for Tyrese, it was get in the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tore, it's the shot.
Like if Tore could ever just get the shot, he's a lottery pick.
Yeah,
you know, like
I
mean,
could not.
just,
I could not agree more.
Yeah,
and the shot, he's doing fine with the shot. I know TJ joked about it after one of those early games that Tore got his 1 of 3 threes to go down. It seems like he shoots 1 of 3 from 3 every single game, and if he's making 1 a game, that's more than what Taman was doing as a freshman, and it's going to be able to keep the defense a little more honest. Before we get a little bit more into the game, I want to thank Karl Auto Group, who presents all of our pre- and post-game shows during basketball season.
We'll start the women's shows coming up, too, at the Iowa game.
Yeah, Cy-Hawk and then Big 12 games.
Chelsea Poppins will be back to help us with women's basketball coverage this year, and, of course, Leah is going to be a part of all of our coverage as well. No, I was going to go, the one thing that's always interesting about freshmen, and this is why I would definitely take the 10.5 points today. I don't know if I think Iowa State will win, but I don't. Usually when you lose a guy, there's the whole dead can't bounce thing. And there's nobody in the country better at that than Otzelberger. We've seen it Caleb Grill at Baylor.
The Conrad Hawley game. We talked about that on the Beat Reporters
the Conrad Hawley game. The TCU game where Taman went out and Jones and Gilbert had to step up.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many examples.
Even
TJ is the best.
Kansas game last year. The first game without Milan.
Absolutely. Then you get scouted. Now, the good thing is Syracuse hasn't had any time to scout.
They probably woke up this morning.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
So that kind of goes out the window here. But, like, that is the one thing, and you see it every year, and I do think this is where Iowa State probably – everybody thinks, like, oh, in February they tend to struggle a little bit, late February. This is just – and you think, oh, they're just worn down because they play so hard. To a point. I also think that it's just easier for teams to prepare for – like, they're a really hard team to prepare for on short notice. Yes. But if you've seen them a second time, you kind of know what's going – like Creighton, like that. The first 10 minutes of that game was hilarious trying to watch them get shots off. Like, it was embarrassing if you're a Creighton fan, how much Iowa State was just emasculating them on the court. So I again, like, I think in a normal instance, if there was like a 3-day rest here, Tore would probably have, somebody's going to see something on tape and try and take something away from him. I just don't know if Syracuse will have that ability to do that on this short notice.
Yeah, the thing that I worry about, it's a little bit of that human nature aspect where it is the next man up. It's that dead cat bounce. Where the first 5 minutes of that game, Iowa State could not have played any better or more intense defensively.
Oh, it was a clinic.
And it's human nature that you probably can't start that well again or try that hard again. It's just a matter of how do you adjust, because Syracuse they'll probably start a little quicker than St. John's and Creighton have started the last 2 days. It's just the law of averages. So how does Iowa State respond to that? I think it'll be a bit of a lower scoring game than we've seen the last 2. But that's just my gut. I know you probably haven't been able to watch Syracuse a ton.
I haven't, no.
They don't turn the ball over. They are one of the top teams in the country at turnover rate. They only had 2 yesterday against Kansas, which is super impressive to only turn the ball over 2 times. They also don't shoot the ball particularly well, certainly from 3, but especially from the free throw line. They're the second worst free throw shooting team in America. They shoot 56% from the line. 56%.
That's hard to believe.
They would have beat Houston and Kansas if they made 70% of their free throws. They took Houston to overtime.
That's what I was like. I'm looking on all my, and again, I've been kind of out of the loop. Like, I've been at the games, but I haven't watched much that's not Iowa State. I I did watch Baylor and Creighton, so I got a good look at the Bears. Could not believe how poor Baylor played against St. John's the next day. Bad look there.
They're not good. Not great, I should say.
Yeah, and I don't think Creighton's gonna, I hope I'm wrong. I love Greg McDermott. By the way, happy birthday to Coach. Cyclones ruined his 61st birthday yesterday. Tough day for Mac. Love the man to death, though. He's a good friend. That team's not very good. This is maybe one of his worst. And I have a lot of friends over there. And they all are holding out hope that I don't think that team's very good.
Syracuse is closer to St. John's than Creighton. They're super
Totally
athletic.
agree. Yes.
They're gonna make life
But
difficult.
Jake, they went 0-2, but two teams we know really well.
Yeah.
They took Houston to overtime, and they competed with Kansas. The scoreboard is indicative.
Stupid Bill Self ran up the score and cost Iowa State $200,000. What he did. And I don't blame him whatsoever. He did the right thing.
No, he did the right thing. I was making that point to Bloom this morning. It's like, may not be the classiest thing in the world, but it's $200,000.
Yeah. The thing I worry about in this matchup is life was so easy in the paint yesterday for Iowa State. Jefferson and Buchanan could get a shot off every single possession if they wanted to, and it would not be that contested. That was not the case against St. John's. They had to work for every inch in the paint. Syracuse has really good rim protection. They play a zone. It's going to be a lot closer to that St. John's game offensively than it was. Now, Syracuse doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Does that change today when they're not used to physicality like Iowa State? Is Iowa State able to turn them over, get out and run? That would be the way if this game does get away and Iowa State wins by 15, that's what we'll look at.
Have you looked at the net rankings?
They're not out yet, right? I think they come out next week or 2 weeks.
Next week is okay.
It's in the next 2 weeks. So
I'm wondering if this would be a quad 1 win.
I would guess it's probably quad 2 right now, and we'll end up quad 1 by the end of the year.
Yeah, that would be my same.
You got to be.
Well, I bet Creighton ends up being quad 2.
That's quad 2.
I don't.
You
got to
be top 50, right, for a neutral site game to be quad 1.
Yeah, Creighton's. This is just Ken Palm. Creighton's 60, Syracuse is 57.
Yeah,
and Mississippi State right now is quad 2 as well. So a lot of these wins you're not getting really the credit for them that you may deserve, but that could switch.
Yeah, I think this game will creep up to a quad 1 win, but I wouldn't call Syracuse a lock to make the tournament. I think they're probably a fringe NCAA tournament team, which is one of those games where you want to have it, because if it is on the bubble of being a quad 1 or quad 2, you do not want to have the threat of a quad 2 loss come March, because most of the time if you get to Selection Sunday and you're down to a 2 or a 3 seed, whoever's got the worst loss is going to get bumped down. So this is a very important must win, despite the fact that there's not money on the line, despite
must win,
not must win. My point would be, last year, of the top 2 seeds in the NCAA tournament, they had a combined 7 quad 2 losses. So you pretty much get one mulligan. So if this does end up as a quad 2 and you lose it, then that leaves your margin for error at an Oklahoma State, at home against an Iowa. Like, it could be without Taman Lipsey. My point would be, you can only afford 1 or 2 what the committee would consider bad losses, and you probably don't want it happening out in Vegas.
Yeah, and also remember that in March, when that committee's sitting around, they're not going to be like, oh, well, they were without Lipsey.
Yeah.
I mean,
so must win is probably too harsh, because this.
You're damn right, it's too harsh, Jake. I'm not going to let you throw that hyperbole around here.
Yeah, this could end up being. It could end up being a top 25 team by the end of the year.
If you say it's must win and then they lose, all these people are going to come on here and just kill us after the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
season's over. Brend said so.
Not season over, but these wins, these games,
they do
matter.
add up, and I get your point. And to my point on the committee, you're exactly right. These games matter just as much as a game that's being played in the middle of February when it comes to those data points or whatever.
The problem, and I guess my point that I was getting at, if you're playing Tennessee today, this is more important to win than if you're playing Tennessee.
Yes.
or more important to not lose would be the better way to put it. And I guess that's probably more of where my frustration is at with
I
Iowa
get what
State
you
getting
mean.
this game. Is if they play Alabama, I would pick Alabama to win, but that's a top 25 loss. It is not going to hurt you whatsoever.
It doesn't really hurt you
Now
at
you've
all.
got a game that could potentially hurt you if you lose. And that to me seems a little unfair for a team that went 2-0, but we don't
Well,
need
let
to,
me
we don't
remind
need to get into
everybody.
all that.
There was the season 2 years ago where they were not good in Orlando at all.
Yep.
You know, they lost to who they beat.
They barely beat VCU, lost to Ole Miss, lost to Texas A&M
right,
with the 20-point lead.
and those teams didn't end up being great.
Yep. And they're
Texas,
fine.
yeah, and Iowa State was still a 2 seed.
Yeah, 2 seed that year.
2 seed. So it's like, put it all into perspective. Now you do want Creighton to be relevant in the Big East, and that's where like these things. And then if you can win this one today, you start cheering for Syracuse the rest of the way, and of course St. John's. But look at us. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and we're breaking down bracketology.
It's doomsday. The Cyclones have looked incredible, but the world is on
This
the
is
brink
why I
of
love
ending.
you and Jack. That Jackson Pence is a disgusting kid. He was around us a lot out in Vegas, and that son of a gun's got info on. You know, he's. Well, yeah. They got Gonzaga. They got this kid that they're redshirting.
I was a little disappointed in Pence. So
Why?
Vegas is 2 hours behind. And I'm up on Monday night watching Arizona State play Texas. The game started at like 11:30. And I'm texting him like, "Are you seeing this Mo Odom for Arizona State? Went off for 37 points." And he's like, "No, I'm not watching." It was,
What are you doing? Your wife?
well, I mean, he was in Vegas and I was sitting on my couch
He was probably with me.
eating popcorn. But no, Pence is a absolute.
I reckon we were at Binion's that time.
He's an absolute sicko, and that guy watches so much college basketball. I felt bad that he wasn't able to watch the Mo Odom show. Keep your eyes out for that fella at Arizona State.
Well,
We've gone off the rails.
yeah, it happens. It happens. This is like your 6th show. Like this is my 4th show of the day or 3rd show of the day. Got 2 more left
Yeah,
after
this
this.
is my 4th.
But there's just a lot going on. And damn it, we're here for the Cyclones. And we'll be here after the game.
We will be here after the game.
Carl
We'll be here
Chevrolet
for post-game,
postgame.
brought to you by Karl Chevrolet. I will also have our daily clone sometime in the mid-afternoon. Kind of depends on when our friends in Vegas get all the post-game stuff uploaded, but you can look for that also today. And, of course, all of Rob Gray's work on CycloneFanatic.com. Thank you for joining us here in the Northwest Bank Studios. We'll be back following Iowa State's game against Syracuse.